Hello, and once again, welcome to another Middle Class Millionaire ABC 123 Business Mindset Training. This is yet another part from the blood, tears, and sweat. Blood, tears, and sweat, the fluids of leadership, right? So, I'm Mr. Aaron from the House of Aaron, one of your middle class millionaires, and let's get right into it. So, if we review, we talked about blood, tears, and sweat equity, right? And speaking of equity, uh, I have a friend. I have a friend. His name Brother Eugene. You can look him up, Eugene Alexander. You look up Eugene Alexander if you have the desire to improve your credit score. My brother Eugene, just look for him on Snapchat, Eugene Alexander. That guy's out there working really hard, right? Welcome, welcome, Sister Jenny. From That's Jenny Writes, folks. So if you're looking for some inspirational writing, whether you need to if you need help formulating your goals and your ambitions, and you're trying to get it out written out that you can read it 12 times a day, uh, you can holler at Jenny Writes. So I'm just giving everybody a little shout out, right? And now that we have those some of those housekeeping things out of the way, we talk about the no problem. How you Jenny's big on Twitter, you guys, but she's trying to be humble about it. 13,000 followers on Twitter. She's being real humble about it. So if you look up, you you can find her. You can find her pretty easy. Which way you want people to find you, Jenny? If they looking for you, if they looking for some right expertise, like some little blurbs or something to put down. Uh, Jenny put it down there, and I'll say it out. See, she trying to still be humble, you guys. We don't want her hiding her gifts, right? Because she got blood, tears, and sweat going on as well. So let's get right into it. If you remember, you have the review. We talk about blood, tears, sweat equity. She said, make sure you find her on Twitter at Jenny Writes. Uh, like I said, she didn't ask for it. She did it absolutely for free. She was using her gift to serve others, and she wasn't trying to sell. She was trying to serve, but yet you still send her a little something through her PayPal. Uh, I'm just gonna plug that in there. She probably say no to it, but when you connect with her, and she helps you put your goal such a formidable way that, hey, why not? Why not send her? I mean, you would do it for Fiverr, you'll send somebody $5 through PayPal. Why not send that to Jenny? Because Jenny Writes at Twitter. If you're on Twitter, you go to Jenny Writes and make sure you get your goal well written, that you'll be able to read your goal every day, typed up. I mean, I haven't memorized it yet. I'm working on it, right? I'm working on memorizing mine, but I do have it written out. I do have it written out. Let me give you guys a little sample. I will be clearing $2.2 million a year by helping people open their minds and what helping them get what they want. So by the second year of making $2.2 million, I will be the owner of a huge gated community in which my family and I will live all together in that community. And look, I plan to do this by 2018. So my dream is to start my I plan on doing this, and I'm gonna do this through online platforms. So, because she didn't write in third person, so I have to say it in third person, right? And that's the way you have to do these things. I mean, you got to get your goal, and even if you want to talk in third person, because a lot of successful people do, you can talk to yourself, talk about yourself. As long as you're not answering yourself, you still considered to be part of the same people. You're not insane until you start answering yourself in such a way that's outside of just actions only. Because today, let me get that review. Blood, tears, sweat. I gave you the six belief patterns that hinder you. Talked about people feel like they're undeserving. People felt like they was just an ordinary person. They didn't feel like they were great. like great Muhammad Ali. They didn't feel like they have greatness inside of them. A lot of people, they're afraid of that social change. And then a lot of people get some early success and then they talk themselves out of being successful because they're talking about, oh, this won't last too long, right? Then you have those people who are hindered by trying to be too perfect. They want everything to be just right, and that's why they don't take any action, because they're too busy trying to perfect their action, right? So they thinking they have to be absolutely perfect, and then you got those people who just self-sabotage no matter what. And we talked about that movie Coach Carter. The people deepest fear is the greatness within them being unleashed rather than all the other consequences that comes with it. So that was the bonus. That was the bonus that you got on Monday about those belief patterns that hinder you. And it says self-sabotage, man. They fear the light within themselves. They fear the light within themselves. So therefore, they will never reach their potential. And then we had another bonus phrase in there, which was, what was it? Think like a winner. You have to be rational, not emotional. So then on Tuesday we covered the blood, and the blood, which is a fluid of leadership. We talked about the blood is a liquid that carries the oxygen in the body. So what does that mean to you if you're in the business of yourself? We talked about the blood is equal to money, but money is not needed to start your business. And why is money not needed to start your business? Because if you're making the blood, the life force of your business, if you can mobilize your business, you don't need an office space. You don't need any of those things that cost you money. You can build free audience on YouTube, on Twitter, on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Periscope. You have all those Blab, you have all those mediums that you could gain audience. You could build an audience and do everything by mobilizing your business, by delivering your product mobile, right? And then we talked about after you mobilize your business, we talked about be in the business of you, which is formulate a separate entity like an LLC of your business, of you, yourself as a franchise business. You separate yourself by making an LLC or get an EIN number. LLC costs about probably $300 a year in the business to get the business tax. But if you have an EIN number, you can separate the financials. You can start getting some write-offs and things of that nature, which will help you in the long run when you're trying to build wealth. And then we talked about another piece. The final number 3 of the blood is the formal education. That formal education, that formal way of thinking that you was trained to be in school will hinder you from starting, because you believe, I need to be in the office, I need to be sitting behind the desk. So when you start to do this, I said, I gave you something like this: be loyal or otherwise die. That's the acronym of blood. Be loyal or otherwise die. Why is that? Be loyal to your passion. Be loyal to yourself. Get that which you love the most. Get it done. Get it started. Because Les Brown and them always quote that the richest place in the world, the place that has the most fortunes, is the graveyard. How many people died with their dreams? So you like to be loyal to your job. Let me give you some news. Your job not loyal to you. They're going to find someone cheaper one day to do your job, and they're going to get you up out of there, because they're about saving their penny when it comes to the overall corporation standards, right? So be loyal to yourself or otherwise die. You are your own business. You could catapult yourself. I mean, the baby boomers, they were so loyal to their job, 40 years and all that good stuff. Millennials, we can't do that. Millennials, it's not an option. That's why every 3 to 5 years we changing our job and we reaching up. We leaving our job to get another job to make more money. In my case, I'm being loyal to myself, so I left my jobs to pursue my passion. I couldn't find a way to mix everything together. So I am now running the daycare like I want to. I'm not limited to a curriculum like I was when I was teaching. Oh, follow this book, follow these instructions, do this. Oh no, we're not doing that. I gotta be loyal. Well, else I feel like I'm gonna die, right? Be loyal to myself. So now I found a way through network marketing, through online stuff. It's teaching me how to be a better business owner for the daycare, and it's teaching me just how to run myself as a better business, so I can scale and reach those goals, right? Scale and reach my goals, because my financial advisor said, as long as I have $2.2 million, my wife and I are good. And that's when I turned 65. When we had $2.2 million saved up, we're supposed to be good for the remainder of our life. But I got 10 times everything listening to Grant Cardone. That means I need to add a zero onto it, right? I can't just let it be. So why not start making that $2.2 million now and do it for at least 10 years? I'm only 36, so I have a lot of time to hit $2.2 million. And then I got to do it 10 years before I turn 65. So that way I could just, boom, stack it up, make sure that my children and my children's children are taken care of. So that was the blood. And now we move into tears. Tears as the Florida leadership. Make sure I got my, I don't want my batteries going dead. So let me make sure I turn on the chargers. So tears, that's the letter B. That is the second part of blood, tears, sweat, right? We're talking about the fluids of leadership, right? So check it out. You make sure what you're about to hear today, you make sure you share it with your favorite entrepreneur, because it's going to be valuable to them. This is something most people don't know. It's 3 types of tears. 3 types of tears that come from your eyes. They call one the basal. That's why you got it. I don't know. You better get your notebooks. A students, C leaders. You gotta take notes. This is one I call this one of my. I have my $2.2 million already because I have 2 of these. I call these my $1 million notebooks, and they fill with this information of what I could do to get my $2.2 million, right? So what do we do for the tears? There's 3 types of them. The first type is basal. That's BASAL. The second type of tears is reflex tears. Reflex tears. And the third type of tears is emotional tears. So I'm gonna let that soak in while I continue to plug Wednesdays, book study hall. We're studying Eric Worre. We're about to get into the nitty gritty. We're about to get into those 7 steps of becoming a professional network marketer. No matter if you're in the office, no matter if you're working for yourself, no matter if you're working for someone else, you still need to know how to network, and you want to be a professional. That's why this is the first book of the book club study hall. This is why this is the first entrepreneur we're studying. I've been in touch with his office and in touch with Eric Worre. This is too late of a time for him, even though he's where were they said they were based over there. He was in California at the time, and I'm gonna talk to him probably offline and record it and present it for the group, right? So 7 steps to becoming a network marketing professional. That's Wednesdays where we do that. So now that I have your attention a little bit, tears, the 3 types: basal, reflex, and emotional. Let's look at the basal tears. The basal tears actually don't fall from your eyes. The basal tears is why your eyes are watery. It's the automatic. It's the standard. It's the baseline. Those tears don't actually have to come and fall down your face. These are the baseline tears. This is what keeps your eye moist. Your eye stay moist because of the basal tears. It's filled with proteins and salts and all that other stuff, right? Now, how can this help you in business? Your basal tears in business is your baseline. What's your baseline in your business? What's your standard in your business? Where's your break even? Where's your break even in your business? Now, if you're just getting started, or if you have a e-business or something like that, it goes into what's your daily routine. If you're in RevShares, when do you watch your ads every day? That's your every day. What are you doing productive for your business every single day? This is your basal tiers. This is your standard tiers. This is your baseline tiers. How much are you dedicating to your business every single day? Basal tiers. Basal. Base. What's your standard every day? That's why I'm on Monday through Friday. You don't get to see what I do on Saturday and Sunday, but I might start recording on Saturday and Sunday as well, so you can see my base, what I set my base up on. I don't like to really interact too much on social media on the weekend because it's family time, but I still put in work on the weekend, and maybe I'll start recording that. I probably just have it just recorded over my shoulder or something of what I'm doing on the laptop when it comes to my online business and to my offline business, which is the daycare. How I'm setting up my lessons for the week, right? So that's my base. My basal tiers is my base of operation. What am I doing every day? How much time am I dedicating to being better at the daycare? How much time every day am I doing to become better at internet, at this network marketing stuff? My mindset training. It's going to help with both things. How much time am I spending in my word? Because I go to church. I teach Sunday school. So I need to know some scripture, or why would I be teaching Sunday school if I don't know the word, right? So how much time I'm putting in every day? What are you doing? What's your baseline? So that brings to the next type of tears, which is the reflex tears. These are the tears that do fall from your eye. Oh, you yawn real loud. You yawn, the eyes water up and the tear comes out. You stub your toe, your eyes might water up. You hit your elbow, your eyes might water up. These are the reflex. You cutting the onions, your eyes are going to water up. Why? These tears are your reactive tears. They indirect. Those tears are reactive to what happens is the reflex. They're reactive, and they're also there for prevention. If you sneeze, you automatically close your eyes. You can't sneeze with your eyes open, and the pressure from sneezing with your eyes open might actually make your eyeballs fly out your head. I know that's kind of graphic, but that could actually probably happen. I don't know anybody who can sneeze with their eyes open. And I think it's humanly impossible. I think the scientists said it as well. So this is reactive and preventive stuff. These are the tears that fight off infection. The gases released while you cutting the onion make your eyes water because it's fighting it off. When you smell strong smells like bleach or something, your eyes water because it's fighting off those fumes that's coming up. So how does that help you in business? How does reflex tears, the mindset of reflex tears, help you in business? Are you adjusting to your market? Things are changing, folks. Are you ready for that change? So your reflex tears, listen to it. Markets are changing. It even said it in the introduction of this book. That I could go right to it. It's right in the introduction. It's talking about how workplaces are going to change to be more like the restaurant business. The restaurant business is doing it. They paying people $2 an hour, but if you're working hard for your customer, tip would be great. So you get paid a baseline, a lower baseline, but it's performance-based business. Car salesman, performance-based. Real estate workers, performance-based. So now it's going to wind up starting to get like that. Say if you work in the office, if you working in a cubicle, guess what's going to happen soon? The bosses are going to say, we can save money if we tell them, because they already got, if you work in a cubicle and you're doing this typing away, and you're filling in forms, or you're doing billing, what's your production? That's what they already could track your production. Just like I know when I used to work as a cashier, back in the day when I was working a cashier at the market, they were like, oh, put him on number one. Why did they move me to the first register, the express lane? Because my scans per minute was so high. They said you could knock out more people if your scan per minute is high. So now jobs are going to start using this. They're going to turn that into their new baseline. Oh, what's the average? Oh, what's exceeding the average? For those who exceed this amount, get paid more. That's what they're going to do. They're going to pay people based on performance. It's going to almost be commission based when all companies catch on to it. Just like with affiliate marketing and network marketing, companies are catching on. Companies who had 2 or 3 floors filled with sales teams, people who make sales calls every day. Now they're just like, oh, let me give it to a super affiliate. Let me give it to a network marketer. Because not only do I just pay them a portion, or I pay them for the first month, and the customer pays me every month after, right? So the model is about to change how people get paid. These jobs that are so-called secure are not, they're about to be uprooted because change is coming. So are you ready? Are you ready to fight out the change? Are your reflex tiers ready? Are you ready for the change in how work is going to be handled? You need to ask yourself that. And if you have a business, if you're operating in a business, are you ready? Are you ready to save some money and change the way you handle business in order to save your business? Because some people are paying people out their own pocket and their business is failing because the model is wrong. And the model is going to make much more sense that, oh, you refer to this many people? Here, let me give you this much money. So let me lower the cost. I mean, I drove for Lyft. I drove for Uber. When Lyft and Uber first came to Baltimore City, it was like, as long as you're on the road, $20 no matter what. If you get a ride, if you don't get a ride, if you take somebody somewhere or not, you're still going to get $20 for every hour that you're on. But once there was enough drivers, once we saturated the driver pool, they made us do it. They set us up. It was like, look, I'll pay you more if you interview a new driver. And once we had so many drivers on the system, we call it the floor. They took the floor away. They took the floor away and said, look, there's no ceiling, but we're going to take the floor away. Because at first, if you had the floor, you already know. You stayed on for 5 hours. How much is that? $20 an hour, 5 hours. You got an automatic $100. Then they took the floor away. Now it take more than 5 hours to get 100. And I stopped driving because I seen it. I know that wasn't for me anymore. So you got to be ready. You got to have your reflex tiers on point. Which brings to our last type of tiers. I know I said it early in the week. Think like a winner, be rational, not emotional. But the emotional tiers, the tears of happiness, the tears of sadness, guess what? It's actually going to be your driving force. What drives you? What gets you that emotional charge? You got to be rational, not emotional, but your emotions are going to help you go the extra step. They always talk about it. What's your why? What is your why? Your why is normally anchored in emotion. But your how is so rational that your why pushes you through your plan to move forward, right? So I wrote this real small. What broke you? So not only what's your why, but what was it that broke you? What kind of pain do you have to go through that's going to push you to greatness? What is it going to be, folks? What did it? I told you. My daughter, she started walking. She started using the pot. But I had to get it all through text message. You had to show up and pick her up from daycare. Even though the daycare provider is my family, even though it was my aunt, I didn't want to miss anymore. My daughter's moving on from kindergarten to first grade. John talking about, no, you can't go to the moving on ceremony. How you going to control? This is my daughter need me there early in her academic career, so I got written up for it because I definitely came in late. I definitely came in late that day. I got written up for it at my job. I was like, I'm not missing that because I feel like that is direct. That's a direct result of me being there. That my daughter is now what? She got skipped. She skipped the second grade, and I feel like because mommy and daddy both were there for her academic achievements, that she felt like she could do more. Right? I didn't. That pain of missing her first step, that pain of missing her using the pot, those pains push me on to say I'm gonna make a way to get out of my current situation. I remember getting called back from family vacation. I was all the way in Florida. I'm all the way in Florida. He said, you either be here Monday or you don't have a job anymore. I had to leave the family vacation, fly back, be there the first day that the summer school opened up, and then fly back again, back to Florida to go to Disney World and stuff with the family. That's not cool. Wasn't cool. I was like, oh, I'm making my great escape. And I made my escape when my son was born, the middle child, when my son Darren was born, when DJ was born. Said it's not going to happen again. I'm there. He's going to be with me the whole time. And now I'm transitioning him out from being at home for these 4 years. He's transitioning out. He's going to summer enrichment program, so that way he could transition to school more smoothly. But he's pumped up. He's happy and excited about school, and I got to be there every step of the way. And now our third child, our son that was just born, May 24th, now his whole style is going to be different because mommy and daddy both working from home. So those pains, what we had to replace, that emotion, that drive, I can't fail. I won't fail. I'm not going back to a regular job unless it's my decision and all the children are grown. That's the only way. If I'm trying to, if I want to go back and get my teacher certificate reactivated because the children in school, I want to be the coach or I want to teach at the school that they attend, then my drive will be different for me to do that. But all three of my children are under the age of 10, and I want to be there for everything, for every step of the way. So that's my emotional charge to do what I have to do. I want my mother to stop working. I want my father, he already stopped working because of medical conditions, but I want better for them, right? I want better for the family. So that's my emotional charge. That's my emotional tears. It drives me. I already got my number. I talked to the financial advisor. I already have my number, what I need for myself. That's why I talk about the I believe, we believe, they believe. Take care of myself, take care of the we, my family, and then take care of the they, my community, right? And how do you blow up? How do you get big within your community? You better be the best person in your house. Then you got to be the best person on your block. Then you're going to be the best person in your neighborhood, to the best person in your city, to the best person in your state, to the best person in your country, to the best in the world. Don't tell me you can't affect the world. Michael Jackson died, the world changed. Muhammad Ali died, the world felt it. Prince died, the world felt it. Leave your mark. Get your blood on the line. Get your tears on the line. And tomorrow, we're going to talk about the sweat equity, right? Blood, tears. I know people say blood, sweat, and tears, but we're talking about blood, tears, sweat equity on tomorrow, which is Friday. So that's all I can tell you, folks, is that you got to put those tears, those three types, your basal, your standard, your baseline, your reflex tears, your reactive, your preventive work. What are you doing to be ready? And those emotional tears, the happy and sad times, your driving force, the thing that's going to make sure that you can't fail. The failure is not an option for you. You can't fail. You can't turn back. So I'm Mr. Aaron from the House of Aaron, one of your middle class millionaires, where I say be confident, be smart, be fruitful, and multiply. And when you start, you don't stop until you achieve your goals. Good night, good morning. Thank you for joining the call, and we'll see you on the next stream.